If you're wondering why we have this Photoshop folder with all of those layers in it, and you've also been wondering why does this stay on the screen for 5 seconds, that's rather boring, I will show you what we're going to do with it. So I'm going to give myself a little more room on the video track. I'm going to find, using the icons, my folder. There we go. Now I should be able to see each of these different pieces. So I have my intro right here. I'm going to find the background for the intro, and I'm going to drag and I'm going to drop it in place of the one that's there. So now I'm missing the text. Here's my name. I'm going to drop it on top of. Now since there's transparency around my name, you can see the background behind it and then my name and everything in between. Let's add my favorite things, and notice there is no video 4 track, but if I ask for one, it will create it. So now that I've got that on there, what do we do with it? It looks the same as it did before, but now we can keyframe these, or we can use preset keyframes. I'm going to go over to my effects and give you an introduction to transitions. So we can simply have these come onto the screen and leave the screen just by using these transitions. These are things that we can put in between at the beginning and end of our assets. Let me take our push. So these are in the slide. You can also search for the word push. If all you used was this one, it would still make it very, very nice. So I'm going to drag and drop this at the beginning of my name. Let me zoom in. I'm also going to add it to the end. Notice it won't show up unless it's somewhere where it can actually apply it. And now my name is going to push in, be on the screen for a little while, and push out. Now, if you click on the actual transition, you can see the effect controls for it. Looks a lot different than the ones for the images because we can do things like decide where it's going to come from. Now for our captions, it's very important not to go across the screen. So I like to have it come in from the closest edge. What does that mean? Well, let me scrub through here and you're going to see my name appear from the bottom. And then I'm going to have it push off to the side. What does that look like? Well, comes on the screen and leaves the screen. If you want your transition to last longer, you can try dragging the end right there. You can also select it, and this is its duration. I'm going to click and drag and just make it last a little longer. So now my name comes onto the screen a little bit more slowly and leaves a little more slowly. You do want that time in the middle for us to be able to read it. Let's do the same thing here for my favorite things. So I'm on my favorite things. I'm going to take the push and add it to the beginning and add it to the end. For this one, since my favorite things is at the top, I'm going to have it come down from the top and then maybe have it exit in the opposite direction. So I'm clicking this little arrow. Now it is possible to see the actual sources and scrub through and see what it's going to do. I'm looking at the exit one right now. Let's see what that looks like. Lots of different options. You can make something very unique with this, and there are a lot of different effects. I'm going to click the X here so it deletes what my search box was telling me, and look for more video transitions. There's the cross dissolve. We'll just make it appear and disappear, and if you want to replace and try a different one, you can just drag it on there and drop it. So now one of them fades and the other one pushes. So a lot of things you can do there. I'm going to try one more thing. I don't know what it's going to do, but instead of transitions, there are also video effects. So we could do something like maybe something with color. I'm going to do a color correction, and I'm going to do let's say a tint. I'm going to drag and drop it on my background. You see what happened here is it totally got rid of the color. So let's see what can be keyframed. I got 3 things that can be keyframed, and I should maybe sample part of my color and map white to this darker color. And so it really changed the look of it. So let's do this. I'm going to undo. And I'm going to go to the beginning and keyframe that. So it's going to start off black and white. Let me click End on my keyboard, and then I'm going to map this to different colors. So I'm going to say green there, and white is going to become this blue. And the color kind of slowly comes in. So not a very terribly exciting one. We can actually turn off that effect, but you have to be careful just trying lots of different things, because if you layer too many effects, it's going to freak out. So I'm going to Control-Z undo and say, no, tint did not do much for me. Let's try instead, we'll do a color balance. And wow, it has a lot of different numbers here. We could probably just see what happens. Let me see if I wiggle this. So the red goes, doesn't do a whole lot. How about the blue? Let's do the mid-tone blue balance. Okay, so that could be keyframed to do something. And here's a green. So let's try both of those. Again, I'm going to try setting the keyframe first. Now, if I wanted to end with that kind of color, maybe this is a place where I'm going to keyframe the green and blue balances. Then go to the beginning and just make them different. Do that, maybe go up there on blue, bring the green, maybe make that bigger, mid-tone blue, go there, and then I've got these that are changing. What does that do? Well, let's see. Get kind of a morphing effect on those colors. I don't think it'd be a problem for those to happen during the whole thing, so let's see. So an animated color background that does not detract from the importance of the titles that are on there. I learned something new.